From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 17th, 2021. Officials from the United States, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Morocco marked the one-year anniversary of the Abraham Accords with a virtual event today, led by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken from the White House, with the participation of Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid, Emirati counterpart Dr. Anwar Gargash, Bahrain's Ambassador Abdullah Al Khalifa, and Morocco's Minister of Foreign Affairs Nasser Bourita. In his remarks, Blinken spoke of the concrete steps made between the countries since their normalization agreements with Israel and vowed to continue to back such ties and expand upon them.
We want to widen the circle of peaceful diplomacy because it's in the interests of countries across the region and around the world for Israel to be treated like any other country.
Blinken also mentions the Israeli pavilion at the 2020 World Expo in Dubai, delayed because of the coronavirus and its significance and symbolism.
It consists of 7 consecutive freestanding gates, no walls, completely open. Across the final gate is a giant sign that reads, "For Tomorrow," in a script that combines Arabic and Hebrew letters. What an apt metaphor for the new horizons that open when countries are no longer closed to each other. Thanks to the countries here today, others who have joined, and the people forging ties between these nations, that vision is becoming a reality. May it be a model for others to follow.
Foreign Minister Lapid also spoke of the many steps taken since the Abraham Accords were signed.
You look at the last year, ambassadors were appointed, embassies were built, we launched direct flights, we have mutual visits, we have signed dozens of agreements in this past month, and many are to follow. This is an optimistic event, and it was created by optimistic people for a better future, and I couldn't be happier than doing this on the 42nd anniversary of the Camp David agreements. And a Happy New Year, Shana Tova to you all from the people of Israel.
Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett marked the one-year anniversary of what he called the groundbreaking agreements. Bennett said, "I would like to thank the leadership of the UAE and of Bahrain for the courage and the daring that enabled the establishment of diplomatic relations, and the American administration, which tirelessly led, supported, and mediated the success of this achievement." Bennett tweeted, "The State of Israel will continue to develop, deepen, and expand relations between the countries, as well as work to develop relations with other countries in the region." And as Lapid mentioned, as did Blinken in his remarks in the video conference today, the occasion did fall on the anniversary of the Camp David Accords, with the Egyptian-Israeli peace agreement signed by Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin on September the 17th of 1978. Police in Germany said they prevented an attack on a synagogue over Yom Kippur. Authorities canceled services at the Hagen Synagogue after very serious and concrete information was received that there could be an attack on the synagogue during the Day of Atonement. Interior Minister of North Rhine-Westphalia State Herbert Reul said of the information yesterday that it appears that prior to today on Yom Kippur, an Islamist-motivated attack was averted. Police arrested 4 people, including a 16-year-old Syrian boy, on suspicion of involvement. While Israel is marking the anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, when on October the 6th of 1973, Egypt and Syria attacked Israel in a surprise assault deliberately on the Day of Atonement. Israel has dozens of memorials across the country to remember the more than 2,600 Israeli soldiers lost in battle. And as we approach the Jewish holiday of Sukkot, Israel's National Library has published some rare photos showing how the festival was celebrated by Israeli troops during the war, including with makeshift sukkahs on the tops of jeeps and military vehicles in the Sinai and the Golan Heights. The Festival of Sukkot begins Monday evening, and we will have services for you here on JBS beginning Monday night at 6 Eastern from Central Synagogue, and then services at 7:30 from the Hampton Synagogue. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, September the 17th. Live Shabbat services are coming up from Central Synagogue at 6 o'clock, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. Then at 8:30, a concert from HaZamir Kfar Saba. At 9, it's the film A Jewish Spirit Sings. At 10, a conversation with television icon James Burrows. And at 10:30, a replay of the services from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by a replay from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 17th, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be back with the news on Tuesday. Stay healthy, stay well, Shabbat Shalom, and Chag Sameach.